All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Wars Mark of Balance. My name is Mark. We are really excited to start this new chapter, a new piece of content for Star Wars Mark of Balance. And before I get into it, I want to introduce my co-host on this adventure, Troy Miller. Say hello to everyone.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we have been obsessed with Star Wars Unlimited for the greater part of the last year. We text all the time about this new trading card game from Star Wars. It's our first trading card game that we've taken seriously in our entire lives. I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, so I had that itch inside me, but I never got back into it until Star Wars Unlimited. And me and Troy were just like, why don't we just record these conversations that we have about all these cards and this game that we love? So moving forward, we're going to be doing these spoiler videos where we talk about spoiler cards as they're revealed. We'll do tier lists on leaders and legendaries. And then hopefully at one point we do some gameplay, but that's going to take some time. We are not the most technically strong people. So we're going to learn that, but hopefully we bring gameplay at some point. But enough talking. Troy, how excited are you to finally talk about cards with other people other than us just rambling in our text chat?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited. This has been something that I never really expected to get into as much as I did. I know when you first mentioned it to me, I was like, we'll see what happens. And then you told me it came out and you gave me a call and you're like, hey, do you want to split something? I was like, yeah, sure, I'm in. And it's been history since. So I'm excited to finally, get some thoughts out there,
Yeah.
hopefully see what other people have to say.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. I know financially this has been a problem for both of us ever since it came out, but yeah, we bought Spark of Rebellion booster boxes when they were just on the shelf. It was amazing. They were just available, and then like a week or two later, no one could get them, or I feel like the game wasn't even that popular, but people were just buying it to buy it. So it was so funny to have just two Spark of the Rebellion booster boxes in my apartment. I was like, look at this. This is like a gold mine
It,
now.
Yeah, it's like we didn't realize how insane it was to actually be able to get those like as easy as we did.
I know we took it for granted, but yeah,
Yeah, we
now
did.
it's a lot easier. All right. Well, let's dive into the spoilers. We're talking about set five, Legends of the Force. We are obviously way behind on spoiler season, so we're going to be starting right at the beginning with the leaders that were first revealed. We have Darth Maul, six cost, red villainy, leader, action, use the Force, the new Force token mechanic, deal one damage to a unit and deal another damage to a different unit. On the leader side, 5/6, and now that ability is just on attack. You don't have to have the Force. What are your thoughts on this leader, Troy? Because I've actually played it in the starter deck on Force Table, and I'm curious what you think about it.
Yeah, I haven't played it at all. So I'm excited to kind of go into these blind. I think it's going to be solid. I don't think he's going to see like a ton of play, but I think it seems like a good starter like a starter leader for people who are just kind of getting into it where it's easy. I'm sure there's an easy way for you to understand the force token, which we'll get into as we go through it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, he seems fine. I mean, he comes out at 6, which as we know is a little late for a lot of these, but the being able to deal one damage on attack and then one to another unit is clutch, especially with all the other Maul variants that we kind of have in the game already.
For sure. Yeah. So just some extra context for everyone. Me and Troy, we are new to TCG, so we are not like the best players. We're not super deep into the TCG world. This is our new experience, so we're bringing a very casual viewpoint, but we're not bums. We both top forward our store showdown. We're not bums, but if you're looking for like super competitive like lifetime TCG, not us. But we
No,
hope
not
that you
us.
join we hope that you join us for the more casual vibes. Leader wise for me, I think he's fine. I think the force token, I was expecting it to be a lot stronger. And the fact that you have to do the damage to a unit, and then if you don't have two units on the opponent's side, you have to do it to your
To your
side.
unit. Yeah.
And it's like, I felt like there wouldn't be a drawback to the force token being used, but I also understand that there's a lot of cards that benefit from being damaged, like Grit and the Ogdo Bogdo card. Like I get that there's some advantages, but yeah, I was hoping the force token would pack more of a punch here.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of the leader side of it, is kind of held back just a tiny bit from that force token, like needing to have that to actually use that action.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like they're looking at the force token as like another resource. Like instead of paying one an action like Vader, you do one damage to a unit, one to base. Now you don't have to spend that resource, but you have to have the force token. So it's like an extra resource, which is cool. But at the same time, I hope there's more cards that are like use the force, and you're like, wow, that's an ability right there.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, let's move on to the other leader, Qui-Gon Jinn, which we've been waiting for 5 sets at this point to see Qui-Gon.
So
He's
long.
finally in the game. He is a yellow, cunning, heroism leader. Action: use the Force, return a friendly non-leader unit to its owner's hand, play a non-villainy unit that costs less than the returned unit from your hand for free, and then he flips on 6. He's a 4/7, good stat line. When this unit completes an attack, it's the same ability. You just don't have to use the force. So it's a mouthful. Again, this is a spotlight leader, which is very interesting because new players are probably going to see this text box and be like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here. But I think the ability is cool. I mean, playing off curve isn't great, returning a high cost thing to play a lower cost thing for free. But I know in the starter deck or the spotlight deck, there are some exploit cards. So you could play like a 7 cost for 4, and then you can pick up that 7 cost and then play like a 6 cost ahead of the curve, which is pretty cool. I just think this is a difficult leader for me. Like this is a super in-depth leader that I probably won't play, but I know someone will break this leader, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm the same way as you were. Like I don't see myself playing it just because number one, like it's just too wordy for me, and I think it's just too in depth for the casual like mind to really dive in to make it like good and viable. But I do agree, like there's probably a player who's gonna commit to making Qui-Gon good, and Qui-Gon's gonna be really good. Like there's just gonna be some broken like you play like a 6 cost, you return it and then you put out like a 5 cost Sentinel, like even
Hmm.
some of the new cards that are coming out, you ambush in and then you can deal a ton of damage like on top of it. Like there's a lot that I'm sure you can do, but for me it's just good stat line. Awesome to see Qui-Gon in the game, but yeah, I don't see myself playing it too much, but I do think there's someone that can definitely break this.
For sure. Sick art. I'm excited for the prestige or the showcase version of this. It's going to be
Oh yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to Darth Maul's lightsaber, 3 cost, villainy, red upgrade, attached to a friendly non-vehicle unit. When played, if attached to unit is Darth Maul, you may attack with him. For this attack, he gains overwhelm, and can't attack bases. The upgrade is a +4/+2. This is really scary. I mean, if they have a
Yeah.
ready Maul unit and you couldn't take it out, like the fact that it could swing for, if it's the leader, if it's swinging for 10 with overwhelm right away, or the unit is attacking 2 things for 9 and overwhelming, is just insane.
Yeah, that's right where my head went was that Darth Maul unit that we have. I mean, crazy. And then the other one is like if you're playing this in red villain green command and you put it on the ambush unit and you can stop the damage if you have another underworld. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
this
that's true.
lightsaber could be a problem.
Now, here's the question. The Maul unit is just called Maul. Do you think that
Oh,
counts since it
it
says
probably
Darth Maul?
doesn't. It probably has to be Darth Maul, so you probably can't
Mm,
even use it on the ambush. That makes it a little better, but I still think
that's
this
still
can
that's still
be
a
a pretty broken combo.
That's still a sick play. No, for sure. Like
Yeah.
that unit attacking for 11 overwhelming and then moving the damage, like still crazy. Wait. Mm, at least attacking for 11. Does the Maul
Yeah.
unit have overwhelm? The 7 cost one? Is it just
I
ambush?
I know it has ambush and I know you can deflect the damage. I don't know if it has overwhelm off the top of my head.
It might have overwhelm by itself. Regardless, that's a sick play
Yeah.
if possible. So this is really cool. I think they've teased that like there are packs at the Galactic Championship that will have like special lightsaber art or something for all the lightsabers in
Oh
the set.
wow.
So I think that's what they've alluded to. So I think this and like a super special car is gonna look So sweet.
Yeah, I mean, and it's Maul's lightsaber, Darth Maul's lightsaber. Can't beat it.
Iconic.
Sick.
All right.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Obi-Wan, our
Ah.
boy. 3 cost, command, heroism, 3/5 stat line. When you play a force unit, including this one, this unit gains Sentinel for this phase. Crazy that we didn't get an Obi-Wan unit in Twilight of the Republic. I
It
mean,
still baffles me.
that is still that whole set is just so sad. It's such a waste of such good material. But Troy, you love Jedi, you love Sentinels. How you feeling about this guy?
I'm the 3/5 solid. 3/5 and he's a Sentinel when he's played is solid, but it left some to be desired. Like I wish he
Mm,
was a little more like I just wish he had something else to him.
that surprises me. I thought you'd be all over this unit, to be
I
honest.
I am excited and I think when you just if you're playing just a hardcore force deck, then he can almost be like if people don't take him out, like even if he doesn't have Sentinel on, he's almost kind of like a pseudo Sentinel because you feel like you have to get him off the board or else, you have a 3/5 out there that you can't really do anything with. It's on turn three, it's solid, like especially against those aggro decks, like Sabine is always going to be there.
Hmm.
Um, so I am gonna play him, like no doubt about it. But I do wish that like there was something else to him. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It's because you don't want to go away from your blue red. That's the problem. That's the
Oh
problem
yeah,
here.
of course. Why couldn't they just make him blue hero?
Exactly.
And then I love him. He's the best card in the
That's true. That's true.
game.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I'm excited. I really haven't built a lot of like heroism force deck, so like I hope he's a staple in that, and I hope I can build around that. Um, I can see where you're coming from. I wish the Sentinel was kind of like evergreen, like you didn't have to
Hmm.
wait for another force unit to come down. But I mean, likely you're playing force units, so he's always gonna have Sentinel. But yeah, I mean, maybe we get Obi-Wan's lightsaber and like he becomes like a crazy
Right.
Sentinel to get through.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, like you said, I think he's probably going to be better than I expect him to be. Which is exciting because like if I go in there with no expectations and he's good, that's going to be great. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm curious to see because I agree, like you said, we're probably always just playing a force unit anyway. So
yeah. Can't hate Obi-Wan getting more cards. So
I
excited
know you're
again.
right. I should just be happy we got one.
I mean, he's probably getting a prestige variant too, so that'll be really cool.
That's true.
I think it's all unique like force users I think are getting prestiges, but we don't have that confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Darth Sidious, blue villainy, your favorite color to play in, Troy. 6/8, restore 2. When played, you may use the force if you do defeat each non-Sith unit with 3 or less remaining HP. So this is a Snoke type board wipe potential. It does affect your own units, which is interesting. If you have a non-Sith unit on the board, like you're wiping your own units. But 8 cost, pretty steep. I feel like it's going to be hard to, unless you're playing super hard control, it'll be hard to play this card consistently outside of that. But restore 2 on villainy is huge. Not many villainy cards have the restore. And then yeah, board wipe you're never going to be mad about. How are you feeling?
It's just another one of those cards that I know is it's gonna hit the table, and I'm gonna be like, all right, that's here we go. Someone's gonna play Snook on 6, and then someone's gonna play something else on 7, and then City's gonna come out on 8, and it's gonna be misery. But I mean, I agree. I think it's gonna be hard to play him consistently because you're gonna have to really think about like, okay, if I play this card, how much is it gonna impact my own units?
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of tough, but I actually haven't seen this card until today. So seeing it
There
like
we go.
a villainy unit at 8 has restore 2, like that's game changing and that's an issue.
It is. Yeah. I mean,
That's an issue.
he's hard to remove if he gets an attack off. Yeah, restoring and hitting for 6. Like, yeah, it's a sick unit. I am curious if we see a Sidious leader. I was actually
Hmm.
surprised that this card was a Spotlight deck exclusive card. Sidious felt like he would probably get like his own card that you could pull from a booster pack, but maybe they're saving it for another Palpatine leader.
Yeah. which who knows?
We'll see. All right, next one cost, Heroism, Refugee of the Path, 0/3, Force Fringe. When played, you may give a shield token to a unit with Sentinel. Yeah, cool unit. Shields on Sentinels are just mean, probably like the
Yeah,
least fun part of this game. But yeah, what are you thinking?
Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan. There you
Obi-Wan.
go, Obi-Wan. Now he's back. I'm back in on him.
Yeah, yeah.
Greatest card in the game. Yeah, it's fine. Nothing special.
Yeah, no, I feel like this is a card that like a super like good player is going to just pull out. He's going to have like a one of in the deck and he's going to pull it out at the right moment and just shield up a Sentinel like Riken or something
Yep.
and just make a card a 5/7 with Sentinel with a shield and it's just going to be like okay, whatever,
GG's.
GG's. So,
Yep.
yeah, I think this is a cool like draft card maybe or limited card.
Hmm.
But yeah, not much else. Let's move on to the Scimitar. I think that's how you say this. It's Darth Maul's ship. 4 cost villainy space unit 3/4. While this unit is damaged, it gets +3/+0. So obviously synergizing with Maul. 6/4, 6/3, 6/2 is it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Not too convinced it goes over well. It's in space, which is helpful, but I feel like that one droid ship that was like a ground unit, it was like a 5/2. That never sees play, even though it seemed like that's scary if you don't take it out.
Yeah.
Maybe this survives because it's in space, but I feel like there's a lot that goes into getting this up to that 6 power.
Yeah, I think realistically the best play that it'll be someone putting it in like a Vader deck or even like the Maul deck where right like first play, if you have it on the board and it's ready, you damage it quick, make it a 6/3
Mhm.
and hope that you can at least swing once into it. But I agree. I mean, it's in takedown range, so it's like, you don't have to damage it. You can just try to remove it instead. But I agree. I mean, the fact that it's in space makes it a little more playable, probably. But I mean, coming off a jump to light speed, I mean, who knows how much of the space units, come across because some of those cards are pretty broken too at times.
Yeah, what I just thought of, which would be really scary, is an overwhelming barrage with this card because it can damage
Mm,
itself and then go up
mm-hmm,
to 6 power and then +2. So then it's 8
mm-hmm.
on turn 4, 5 resource
Yeah.
turn. You're doing 8 damage and potentially swinging for 8. That's kind of crazy. But overwhelming barrage makes every card amazing. So
Well, yeah, and I think kind of similar to Qui-Gon, like there's going to be someone that's going to have this card. They're going to use it once, and they'll have, like you said, they'll have one of it. Use it once, it'll work, and you'll be like, "Oh, it's the greatest card." Everyone's going to try to make it work.
yeah, for sure. All right, next up we have Anakin, young Anakin from Phantom Menace. Love the art here; it's really cool. Sorry, I just got a thing. So we have 10 minutes left on this meeting, just as a heads up.
Okay.
I'll cut out this part in the edit. But okay, next card we have Anakin Skywalker. Cool art from Phantom Menace. He's a cunning heroism, 1 cost, 1/1 hidden, which is the new keyword. Essentially, when you play a card, it can't be attacked the phase that it's played. And it's also shielded, Force Fringe. I mean, I like Obi-Wan for you. I just wanted something more out of this card.
Hmm. Yeah, I hope this isn't the only Anakin we get. I have a feeling that it's gonna be, but
But we have the legendary one,
oh
the
right, you're right.
Mortis one. But yeah,
Yes, you're
maybe
right.
one in the middle. Maybe one in the middle. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I mean, who knows? But I agree. I mean, you probably play this because you want to try to force throw something, and
Yeah.
that's really it. You just get something on the board.
Right. Yeah. He's like a force token machine. Like as long as
Hmm.
he's gonna get one attack off, so he'll get you the force, and they likely aren't removing it. So he might get you the force twice, which is nice. So for 1 cost, I mean, if you're a super like force token heavy deck, I think he's included. But yeah, I don't know. I wish they like maybe drew in on him being like a fixer, like a mechanic, and like just load him up with red, like hidden,
Hmm.
restore 1, shielded. Like I wish they just did that for him. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think he's more of like a force engine, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably all it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go to Savaggio Press, who's a 6 cost red villainy. This guy's just an issue for everyone in the game. the person who plays it and the one who it's being played against. So 9/6 has overwhelm. When played, when defeated, you may use the force. If you don't, deal 9 damage to your base. So if you don't have the force either time, I don't know why you play this without the force, but if you get screwed where you play him and you have your force token and then they somehow remove it right away, like the risk here is crazy.
It nuts. High risk.
High,
High
I mean,
reward.
high reward. Yeah, yeah.
Nine attack with overwhelm. So I mean that's good.
And you're getting the
Um,
force back when he attacks, so you're covering yourself, but it's just that time in between.
yeah. Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's like I think about like, ECLing it out potentially if you're playing it in green, but then it's like, okay, if you don't have the force, you're playing it. If you ambush him into a unit that has 6 damage, you can essentially deal 18 damage to your base.
Playing this with
Just
ECL is just a wild
so
move.
bold.
A wild
Bold.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's interesting. I'm glad cards like this exist because there are going to be those scenarios maybe in like draft or something like where someone drops this, they use the force and you can't take it out. You don't have something that can take it out for 6 and you're just like staring down 9 damage and overwhelm like
Yeah.
it's going to be GG's too. So I
Hmm.
like that this exists, but
Yeah, I agree.
I am not the person to play it. Nope.
No, no, I'm not. I agree though. It's a good card to have.
For sure. All right. Next up at 5 cost, we have the Stinger Mantis from the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor games, which is super sick to see. I love the art on this one. Cunning Hero, 4/6. When played, you may deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit. How you feeling here, Troy?
I like it. I think it's a solid. It has a good stat line for 5, so 4/6. And I feel like, when you play something at 5 or at higher, like you want it to have a when played ability or an ambush or something. And the fact that you can deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit, like you basically want to wait till everything's exhausted to play something out. So the fact that you can kind of control it that way, and then, if you need to finish off like an annoying unit that has 2 health left, like you can just boom, play this out. Now you have a 4/6 in space and you do 2 damage to a unit. I like it. I think it's going to be, in a cunning hero deck, and it's going to be a solid addition.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think it'll be interesting how you sequence the play to get the most
Hmm.
value out of it. But I agree. I mean, in cunning, you're exhausting things, and 4/6 in space is good when played. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is an interesting card. I love that the Fallen Order series is in the game finally, and I'm hoping we see Cal very very soon.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Next up, we have Drain Essence, which is a 2 cost event. Blue villainy, deal 2 damage to a unit. The force is with you. So just a solid control turn 1 play. Just
Yeah.
do 2 damage, and if your leader has ping, then you're taking something out next turn, and you have the force.
100%. I mean, that's literally all there is to it. It's just a solid 2 cost for a villain control deck.
Yeah, not much else to say. It references Rise of Skywalker, which we'll take it. But yeah, definitely a cool card for villain control. Next up, we have Qui-Gon Jinn's Aether Sprite. It is a 5 cost cunning heroism 3/6 space unit. On attack, the next time you use a when played ability this phase, you may use that ability again. This seems strong when you read it, but then you like have to like think about how it actually plays, and you're like, I don't think I want to go through all that.
No, I'd probably rather play the Mantis over this at this exact turn in this exact colorway.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just having to one have like a good when played ability out there and survive. Two, play this, make sure it doesn't get defeated, and then it's able to ready and then attack, and then you'll get the other when played. But between all that, your villain is your opponent is probably interrupting in there somewhere. So I just feel like this is too
Everything.
slow.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's too slow as well.
Cool art though. I really like the clouds.
Yeah.
Sorry
Good
again for
hyperspace.
sorry everyone for who's watching this. The card images I'm taking directly from the Star Wars Unlimited website. They're not like high res images for some reason. So if it's a little blurry, I apologize, but I tried my best. Next up, we have a zero cost
Oh,
Porg, 1/1 creature. The creature synergy is coming, Troy.
the
And
creature synergy is coming.
the Porgs are going to be at the forefront of that.
I am just upset that it doesn't get the Vulture Droid, treatment where you can just load up on Porgs. I'd rather them cost one and I can load up than have them cost zero.
That's a good point. Yeah, like 50, you can have up to 15 Porgs in your deck, and each one gets +1 or something.
I would make it my goal the first time I show up to weekly play to have 15 Porgs in my deck.
That
I would have made it my goal.
That's amazing. And then there's another spoiler card later that we'll talk about with the
Yeah.
Porgs. But yeah, I've been talking about a creature deck since that one. I'm very excited for the creatures to start flowing here. And I want the Porg to be my staple turn
Yeah.
one double play. 2 Porgs to start the game.
So fun.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Watto, 3 cost, vigilance, 1/6, sorry, 1/6 fringe. On attack, an opponent chooses one. You give an experience token to a friendly unit, or you draw a card.
I
Yeah, how you
I
feeling?
actually really like this card. Um, no money, no parts, no deal. Just I'm all for it. I like that you essentially have to force your opponent to make a decision. And with some of the new bases like Colossus, where you kind of like you need that hand draw, like it's okay, like your opponent doesn't want to give you that card, but instead you get an experience token. And like whether you put it on Watto or you put it on another unit, like I actually really like this. I think he's just annoying to get off the board. Um, I mean, even if you get one experience token with it or you throw a Ray with it, I think he could be really solid. I'm excited about this card.
Yeah, you just like playing cards where you can quote the character. I think
I
that's I
do.
think
That
that's
is a fact.
I
That's a
think
fact.
that's what you want to do with Watto. Yeah, 1/6 that line is annoying, hard to get rid of. Do you really want to waste resources to get rid of it? But if you don't, yeah, it's just like a really good engine for experience and drawing a card. So I think this card's pretty scary. I mean, it's 3 costs, so I mean, against aggro, it's not great. You probably don't want to be playing
Hmm.
this against aggro, but I think in a lot of like blue hero decks, I think this could fit in quite nicely.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, moving on to the next card, we have Luthen Rail. This one hurts to
King.
look at right now. King, 4 cost, vigilance. Sorry, not villainy, but to some people he's a villain, but to other people he's a hero. That's what makes him great. 4/5 rebel, so he's obviously going in my Leia deck. On attack, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an item upgrade, reveal it, and draw it. Troy, tell me what you're thinking.
I'm a fan. I like the 4/5. The stat line, that's definitely a playable stat line at 4. I like the on attack, especially because I assume the lightsabers are items, right? Like I'm not
I
just
think
making that
so.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
If they are with how many lightsabers are going to be added this set, we've already seen Mauls and in Red Villain. So if you want to play that in that, but you're probably not. But if you wanted to, I think being able to search for the top 5 cards of your deck if you're playing a lot of these, it's going to be solid. If not, with all the Rebel synergy cards where you can attack with multiple Rebel units at a time, you can attack with a Rebel unit and give it +2. I mean, I think this could be a really solid card that's probably gonna it has the potential to be a staple in a blue, Rebel deck, but we'll see. I like it though. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always scared of like on attack abilities this late.
Yeah.
At 4, which doesn't sound late, but I feel like just based on how this game is played out in the meta, if you're not doing something every turn, it's kind of hard to keep up. But we haven't seen all the lightsabers, so again, lightsabers could be game changing. So getting them and putting them on force units might be worth being a little slower, and maybe this opens the door to like hero control, which hasn't really been around yet. So I don't know. I'd love to see Luthen on the board. So
Hmm.
I hope he sees play. Um, but I think we need to see the whole set to really evaluate it.
Yeah, definitely can be slow. So
All right, yeah, we'll move on to Scythe. This is a 4 cost base villainy red card, 3/5. On attack, you may give another friendly Inquisitor unit +2/+0 for this phase. Inquisitor synergy is here. I have not really played Grand Inquisitor. I don't think you have ever played Grand Inquisitor, Troy.
nope.
Um, Fifth Brother saw some play. I liked the Sixth Sister. Was it Seventh Sister? I forget.
I think it's
In set
Seven
one,
Sister. I
Seventh
think it's
Sister.
Seven Sister.
I liked her in set one. But she was only good in set one because she's so slow. But now she doesn't really see play. Um, I think this is like not like great, but if you want
Hmm.
to force the tribal, then I support tribal decks.
Yeah, no, I'm always for that. Um, yeah, I mean, I kind of just compare this to Luthen almost, where it's same turn, Luthen of being a 4/5, like there's a trade-off, so I kind of get it. So, but I agree. I mean, Luthen could be a little slow. I think this could be a little slow, but like you said, if you're playing that Inquisitor, tribal deck, who knows? I mean, it could just be a good matchup in certain decks, could be a bad, but no, I mean it's solid. I think it's just another fun space unit to have. And like you said, we never played Grand Inquisitor, so it's kind of hard to, figure that part out.
Yeah, yeah. I forget where in these slides Riva is, but
I think
this is
she's
obviously
next.
she might be okay, great. So
I think she's
we
next.
can jump right into her because I think that card is really synergistic with her because she's hidden when she comes in, so she's likely surviving to attack. But regardless, Riva, third sister, villainy, aggression, action, play a unit from your hand. It gains hidden for this phase. On her leader side, she's a 5 flip, 5/4, which is pretty solid. Hidden, and on attack, the next unit you play this phase gains hidden. So a deck that without them having removal, direct removal, is going to be very annoying and very fast. Like if you don't have
Hmm.
direct removal, like open fires or something like that, this deck could roll you.
Yeah. I mean, if you can just get, I mean, I feel like it's kind of the same. I think all the hero ones where they come out kind of like around this turn, like the goal is get the leader out, get the fallen lightsaber on them. Like
Yeah.
if you can get that on Riva here, I mean, making her hidden where you can't attack her and she has a fallen lightsaber, I mean, that's gonna be potentially broken. But like you said, I mean, I feel like takedown is now gonna potentially be like a staple in blue decks, just because obviously you have some of these other cards and takedown's obviously just solid, but if you can't get Riva off the board right away, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean it's like a guaranteed 5 because they can't attack it. And the next thing she plays is also hidden. So
Hmm.
I mean, there's like there's so many cool things you could potentially do with this. I'm curious to see how hidden plays out in the meta and in games because it is like a new keyword that they're saying is going to be around for a while. Not like smuggle, my favorite mechanic that has disappeared since that too. Um,
Yeah.
but this will be around. So yeah, this is an interesting leader. I'm not the biggest fan of the Obi-Wan show, so I'm not excited to ever play Riva, but I think she's a cool leader to have in the game.
Yeah, I think she'll be another fun alternative for a villain aggro
Yeah,
play style.
for sure. All right. Next leader, we have our boy Obi-Wan coming back.
Bring him back.
Still in command, heroism, action. Use the force, give an experience token to a unit without an experience token on it. Flips on 5 is a 3/6, which I'm not the biggest fan of. On attack, you may give an experience token to another unit without an experience token on it. How are you feeling for our boy Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars
Um,
armor?
I love the art. I think this showcase is gonna be awesome. I'm concerned. I don't love the 3/6.
Yeah.
I don't love the barrier that you have where you can't stack experience tokens on a unit.
Right.
Like if you have one unit on the board and you have Obi-Wan, like that's it. You're good. You know,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
it kind of hurts to see that as a leader. But you know, who knows? There have been, some leaders that people don't expect to be good and then they end up being solid. But nah, I'd rather play the other Obi-Wan from set 3 where he's just a sentinel. I'd probably rather play him.
Yeah, yes. The set one, the big 4/6, right? The blue one.
No, the leader, but him, yeah, that one
Oh,
too.
yeah,
To
yeah,
be
yeah. That
honest,
that no, you're right. You're right. That the leader Obi-Wan from that
yeah,
set is way better than this. Yeah. I just think there's so many restrictions on this leader for I mean, again, maybe they're play testing and this is like it got out of hand, but I'm just thinking like again, this force token I thought was supposed to be like a powerful addition. Like if you're using the force, you're using it for like a big reason, and now you're limiting it to only giving an experience token, and not only that, you can't give it to something that already has an experience token. So
right.
you can't like make a big unit out of this. And then as a 5 cost 3/6, like Quinlan is a 3/7 for the same at 5,
Hmm.
and he has a ping ability. I don't know if ping is as strong as an experience token, but Obi-Wan can't do this to himself, which is annoying. And
Right,
then like Leia is a 3/6 at 5, but she has action compression and she has raid 1, so she's hitting for 4. I
right.
feel like Obi-Wan was not the character to limit here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, honestly.
Maybe we see an Obi-Wan lightsaber. I don't know. I don't
I
like yeah.
I I don't like to have to rely on that because I think we've said that now for
I
multiple,
yeah.
not just Obi-Wan, but like in our text too. Like we've said it for multiple characters, like, oh, if they get a lightsaber, like because of how much they're hyping up the lightsaber ability, like that they're gonna have so many.
Yeah.
I I hope they have an Obi-Wan lightsaber. I really think they have to be honest, but I agree. It's like it just doesn't move the needle for me yet until that comes out.
Right. Yeah. Maybe there's a card that, when it gets an experience token, something cool happens. I don't know.
Hmm.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Next up, this was an exciting one. Something that I think a lot of people were like, I don't think we'll ever get Legends characters. And I'm surprised Revan hasn't been canonized yet, but there's always room. But yes, we have Darth Revan in Star Wars Unlimited. He's the first single aspect leader. He is just villainy. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an experience token to that friendly unit on his leader side. 5 flip, 3/6, restore 1. Already better than Obi-Wan. When a
Literally.
friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may give an experience token to that friendly unit. Troy, is the single aspect worth it?
I don't know. I don't know. People are trying to make it work. I could say that. I could say that. People are trying to make it work. I don't know if it's worth it. We'll see. Honestly, just we'll see.
Yeah, just Revan Lake Country, just one aspect to build your entire
Yeah.
deck around. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of like taking out units and getting rewarded for it. Does that play out a lot? I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times your turn one plays are trading and they're not surviving to get that experience token anyway. Um, but I like that the experience can stack. Like, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Um,
I think the restore one's a nice extra touch there too.
mhm.
But I'm gonna bounce off of what you told me a couple weeks ago. Do we get just a hero version? Are we gonna get a single aspect hero
Yeah.
leader?
In the last stream, they said they pretty much winked and said that would make a lot of sense if we got a single aspect hero. I don't know if it'll be Revan because they said that the Legends cards they already revealed are the last of them. So I don't know if it'll be a Revan
Mm,
one. But yeah, I'm so curious what they'll do with the single heroism. I don't know who that could be. I don't know. I've been like trying to think of it.
yeah, I don't know either. I mean, if it's not Revan, I don't know. We'll see, but I don't know who it could be either.
Yeah. Well, Revan, I think will be really cool. Obviously, as a showcase, like that showcase is going to be worth so much.
So sick.
And I think his leader and stuff gets better as we go into the more cards from Legends, which they're not even in order in that, but we're going to talk about Captain Enoch. I think, in the next couple, there will be the Legends ones that were revealed alongside Revan. But we have Captain Enoch, who is a command villainy, 3 cost, 1/5 Imperial Trooper. This unit gets +1/+0 for each trooper in your discard pile. Bringing in the Ahsoka series. Cool design. 1/5 annoying stat line for 3. Only have wing power is tough. Do you think there's enough discard in the game yet for this to be good, where you're getting rid of your troopers enough to make him like pretty scary?
Nah, I don't think it's here yet. I think someone's gonna find a way to just be like they'll have that one game where you look and Captain Enoch's like a like a 6/5
Yeah.
or something like that. If you like really commit to the trooper
Mhm.
portion of it, but no, I just think I think it's cool art, fun that they brought him in, but yeah, no, I just don't think there's enough discard yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious if this is more of a late game play, like you're like on turn 8
Hmm.
and you've
Yeah,
lost a lot of troopers, and then you just drop for 3, you drop like an 8/5 just out of nowhere,
yeah,
and then you have a bunch of other resources to spend on other stuff to potentially like ready him or do an overwhelming barrage. Like I think there is something cool late game with him. Um, and it's also like a cool synergy where like if you're playing against like a Quinlan and they're playing a lot of hand hate, you could just be like, okay, well I'll discard troopers all day and just
yeah,
buff them
literally.
up later.
Yeah,
Interesting card.
yeah, it is interesting. I think I agree. It's probably more late game than a turn 3 or turn 2 type
Yeah,
of play. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Cool art.
we will definitely see. All right, next up, our boy Plo Koon, 6 cost, heroism, vigilance, 6/8, Force Jedi Republic. While the Force is with you, this unit gains grit. Troy, this is your colorway. This is your type of deck. Does
My
Plo
boy.
Koon get you excited?
He does. I think Luminara was a 7 cost grit
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
same
coordinate
colorway.
grit. Yeah,
Yeah, like she had coordinate grit, and I don't think her attack like on the base version of the card was like high. I think it was only like 2 or something like that.
yeah,
It was something weird, but no, Plo Koon gets me excited. The only thing that concerns me is I think he might be a little too slow.
yeah,
Um, that's I want him to be good. It like you said, it's in the colorway I love to play, but I am concerned he's a little too slow. But I mean, a 6/8 is a beast.
yeah.
6/8's fun.
And if you're playing this deck, then you're likely like keeping the Force, so he's just always having grit. And if you have him behind a Sentinel, he can swing away, take the damage. They have to go through the Sentinel to get to him, and if he takes 4 damage, like he's swinging for 10. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And
Yeah, if you
yeah,
can combine him, you can get him to go a couple of turns, or like you said, like hide him behind a sentinel. Yeah, he's gonna be sweet. But as we've kind of said with a couple of cards, like there's just a world that is just a little too slow.
yeah, it's a little slow. It's definitely like a limited or like pre-release event, like Bomb, like dropping this is
Hmm.
sick. And I love the art from the Malevolence arc of him out on the escape pod. That's really cool.
So good. Another sick hyperspace.
Sick hyperspace, sick prestige on the way.
Oh yeah.
Next up we have Owen Lars, devoted uncle, a 1 cost ground unit, vigilance, 0/3 fringe, restore 2. When defeated, search the top 5 cards of your deck for a force unit, reveal it, and draw it. Um, kind of like a moisture farmer
Hmm.
upgraded, which is cool. Thematically cool. I like that, we're searching for force units. It's Uncle Owen defending, Luke. Like it's cool.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's just like, if you're playing Ray and you play Moisture Farmer and Owen on the first turn, like that's pretty cool.
It's pretty
But
cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty cool. You have restore 4 and 0 like set 0/8 on the board basically, or I think Wishbone maybe does 1. But it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's cool. I think
Yeah,
the idea of getting it out there and you can search the top five cards for a force unit is nice. I do like that. And it can slow aggro down maybe just a little bit because instead of like a Sabine hitting for three, you can restore it down and make it really just a hit for one. But yeah, I mean, he's fine.
yeah, yeah. I kind of like this in a Thrawn deck. You know, a Thrawn
Ooh,
Force deck, double searching for two
yeah,
Force
ooh,
cards. That's pretty cool.
that is cool. I didn't even think of that.
I think all the Night Sisters are Force traded. I think
I
potentially.
th
So
I think so.
Night Sister Thrawn Owen Lars deck. Put me down for that.
Pencil it in.
All right. Next up, this card's insane. One cost, Cunning Villainy. As I have foreseen, it's a force event. Look at the top card of your deck. You may use the force. If you do, play that card. It costs 4 less.
I mean, like what the hell?
I mean, it's just like Cunning gets something banned, and then they bring in a new card that's like, let's see if we can ban this one too.
Yeah, like I mean, if you play a unit on, I mean, if you play a unit on turn one, or you even just play like if you have the force somehow and you play this on turn one, you get essentially a four cost card on turn one. Next turn you play, now there are two of them. And like, I mean, what are we doing? I'm just like, dude, just I'll pick up. We'll go to the next game.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to play anymore.
If your opponent puts this down, it's just like, all right, well, it's been fun.
Yeah, it's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna see what I can do to salvage my pride.
Yeah. I mean,
No, it's a sweet card though.
really cool art. I like the reflection of Palpatine, but yeah, I mean, if you're playing like a force deck, force villainy deck, and you're just stacking it with like heavy hitter force units, like I mean, it is like a lottery. You don't know what your top card is most of the time, except if you're playing set one Thrawn.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you're probably gonna hit, and it only costs one. So if you're hitting like a 5 cost thing, even a 4 cost thing, like you're still playing a 4 cost thing for one. Like that's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
I don't know. This card seems like it could get out of hand really quickly.
Yeah, agreed. Or it could just we could all think it's gonna be really good and it's just horrible. Which I have a hard time seeing.
Yeah, I mean, as someone that knows, and as we know, Cunning is so busted. We hope it
hmm
doesn't work, but I think it's gonna work. I think
I
this
think
is
so
gonna
too.
work,
I think so
unfortunately.
too.
Um, yeah. Next up, we have Grogu, who is our first prestige that they showed off, which is pretty cool. So he's a 3 cost single aspect heroism. He is eating. Oh, in the original art, he was like eating. I thought he was eating the those like tadpole kids, but now I
Oh
see he's
yeah.
holding the ball. But I think he's also over that tank. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was just remembering incorrectly.
All right.
Um, 1/6 force, hidden, so he can't be attacked when he's played. And then action, heal up to 2 damage from a unit. If you do, deal that much damage to another unit. I like that. Like mechanically, he's the same as the other set Grogu, where it's like he's not really attacking; he's just kind of tapping himself to do a cool ability. I think he's pretty strong for the legend. Like I'd be excited to open this as my legendary.
Absolutely. I mean, like the action cards I feel like are super underrated.
Hmm.
I mean like being able to heal the 2 damage from a unit, heal, deal that much damage to another unit. I mean, maybe my sweet prince Chirrut comes back and I can just heal and keep him alive, keep him on the board, just for fun. But yeah, no, I like this. I'd be excited as a legendary for this.
Yeah, it makes me think of set two, the legendary Mando unit. I forget if it's a 2 cost or 3 cost on the in its text box that he becomes Sentinel. I forget what it is, but if that synergizes with this, which it should, like having a Sentinel that you can continue healing, keep this unit on the board to heal, deal damage, have the force at all times. I don't know. I think Grogu could be really good.
Yeah, I'm looking right now because I wanted to look up that Mandalorian. So that Mando is when played, you may heal all damage from a unit that costs two or less and give 2 shield tokens to it.
Okay.
So he doesn't synergize here, which is unfortunate. I think that would have made a lot of sense. But
Yeah. What the
but
hell?
hey, I mean, I guess in theory you could heal something, but or that Mando just doesn't never gets played again, and we forget that it exists. But anyway,
More than likely. Is he
yeah,
is he's just a sentinel, right? He always
yeah,
has
he's a
sentinel. Okay.
six cost Sentinel
Okay.
when you play Obi-Wan.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe
yeah, we'll
it
see.
would have been really nice if it was a two cost
Oh
double
yeah, it would have been
shield, but
so sick.
maybe would have been broken at that point. Anyway,
Yeah, it's
moving on.
probably
Oh,
fair.
jumped ahead too far. We have another legendary, 7 cost Qui-Gon Jinn unit, which is really exciting. Cunning Heroism, 7/5 ambush. When defeated, you may choose a non-leader ground unit. Its owner puts it on the top or bottom of their deck. How you feeling, Troy?
I love this card so much.
Mm,
I really do. Um, I think the art is sick. I mean the hyperspace of this is probably gonna be incredible. Assuming it gets a carbonite. I
yeah.
mean, I'm all in on this and just like a 7 cost, you want him to do ambush, which is awesome. He does something right when he's played. And if he ambushes in and defeats a big unit and dies, at least like you can still do something too. So it's like you're not playing a 7 just to remove something and then you're like, all right, well, that was that. I think this is a really solid 7 cost, a really solid legendary.
Yeah. The double, like the 2-for-1 in the ground is sick, especially if like you have a leader out or like maybe 1 or 2 units on board and you just use this to clear the way. And then their whole turn has to be dedicated to, playing something down and it's already exhausted. So I think it's really strong. I think the only downside is that it's limited to ground. So
Hmm.
if they have like a space unit and a leader, you can ambush and take out the leader, but that space unit's still going to be a problem. So again, that's not like a terrible thing because like Luke legendary is amazing and it only takes out 1 unit usually.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think that's really the only drawback. But other than that, I mean, yeah, ambushing 7/7 is never bad. And then
No.
you could also bring something back and delay their turn because it goes to their deck, not even to their hand.
Exactly. Like I just look at it, compare it to the Mace Windu from set one, where it's the opposite. So it's a 5/7 ambush. And I just like that I like the change here because it gives you that option. I mean, obviously it's a different colorway, but no, I'm excited. This Qui-Gon card's gonna be sweet.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And the more legendaries we get, the more good legendaries we get, the happier we are with the set because
Yeah, 100%.
it's been very hit or miss lately.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a very cool character I wasn't expecting. 5 costs, Sifo-Dyas, command, single aspect. He's a 4/4. When defeated, search the top 8 cards of your deck for any number of clone units with combined cost 4 or less and discard them. For this phase, you may play those cards from your discard pile for free. Again, I will mention Thrawn 4, double searching to get potentially, I mean, if you're all 2 costs, like potentially playing four clones, is kind of crazy. The 4/4 stat line for 5 is not great. We saw Cody, in set 3, really powerful ability, but just being a 4/4 at 5 is just a really big downside.
Yeah, it's like it feels like you're playing him to get defeated, so you can search for those clones. I think of him first thing I think of is Nalase.
Mm,
Um, could be fun to play him. I mean, you literally just, if you're probably playing Nalase with ECL, so you can just, you kind of waste your ECL, which sucks in a way. But maybe if you really just need to catch up and get those clone units, like that's fun. But yeah, I mean, he's fine. I don't like the 4/4. I think he'll be fun in theme decks for clones.
hmm
But yeah, I'm not moved by him too much. Fun
Yeah,
character to get though. I wasn't expecting to get a Cypher DS at all.
absolutely. Yeah, it's super thematic. Really cool like ability based on the character. Rare slot, if this comes up in my rare in my pack, I'm gonna be like, all right,
I'll
cool.
take it over a rare base though.
Yeah, I don't. I think there's only
Maybe not this set.
maybe not this.
Maybe not this set.
Yeah, we'll see how those play. Um, Next up we have Marin, another character from the Jedi series, which is really cool. Great character, love her in Survivor. Three cost, aggression, 2/5, force and night traded. On attack, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, deal 2 damage to a unit. How you feeling, Troy? How you feeling?
How am I feeling? I think it could be fun. I think it's fine. I think it's nice that Marin's in here. I like that she's just red, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping that she synergizes with Cal somehow, some way.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, 2/5's a fine stat line, especially because of the on attack ability. I mean, I'm sure she's going to see some play. I don't know how much, but she'll see something.
Yeah, yeah. The force trait's huge. The more discard synergy you get, this is going to get really good because essentially she turns from a 3 for a 2/5 into a 3 for a 4/5, which is crazy. So yeah, I'm excited. I think a lot of the Night Sister like cards are very or there's some Night Sister cards that like discard stuff. So I think she'll be really cool in that type of deck. Yeah, I think she's good, and I expect she'll get a prestige, which is pretty sick, especially
Yeah,
if it's like this type of art.
I would think so. And I kind of just think about, I mean, like she's not the same as Poe, but Poe's ability to discard your own card to deal the damage is huge. So
Yeah.
I just could see that being, a solid ability early on in a game where it's kind of not as game breaking too. So yeah, I mean, she should be fun.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we have Darth Tyrannus. This card's kind of insane. 4 cost villainy, 4/3, 4 separatists and Sith, shielded. And then while the force is with you, this unit gains ambush. So if you just have the force, this inherently has ambush. You don't have to spend the force. He just inherently ambushes for 4 and is going to survive because he's shielded. I think this is like a staple card in villainy,
Mhm.
especially if you're playing a Vorse deck. Like you can't not play this. This is insane. This is an insane card.
Yeah, 100%. I don't even have much more to add to that. I mean, that's just 100%.
Yeah, people play Forlom, 4/4 ambush, but that he usually dies, and now this time you you're ambushing, killing something, and then keeping a 4/3 out there, and getting the force like back. So yeah, Tyrannus, super sick. We'll have to see if we make an event this year, Troy. I think PAX Unplugged is, or one of those is still in Philly.
I
Maybe
think,
we'll get the
yeah,
event exclusive version.
yeah, I definitely want to try to go this year. I wish I would have pushed it to go last year, but I really wasn't sure. But this year I'm like, all right. When
Yeah,
anytime I see people at the store play the con exclusives, I'm like, damn, those are so nice.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the new con exclusive ones look pretty cool. The droids.
The droids look so cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah,
I actually think we have one of those next.
I was gonna say, oh, look at that, right on time.
It's like we planned this.
So planned out. Yeah, so this is BD1 from again the Jedi Survivor series. This is a cunning heroism. Again, the red, I get why they did it. The aspect not being the right color is really throwing me off. But yes, this is a yellow card. He's a 1/3 hidden when played. Choose another friendly unit while this unit is in play. The chosen unit gets +1/+0 and gains Saboteur. This is the only droid from that con exclusive that is in this set. I think Chopper and I think Chopper is coming in set 6, and then I think the other ones are
Oh, okay.
just. I think the other ones are from previous sets. I don't know if the C3PO is a new version of him or not, but this is the only one for Legends of the Force.
Oh, that's cool. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. How you feeling on BD?
Fun. I think it's
Fun.
just fun. Like
Yeah.
it's a Hu Yang.
It's a Hu Yang.
It's a Hu Yang, but you get Saboteur and it's only +1 instead of +2. But I mean, we'll see. It seems like Sentinels are maybe going to be a little more prevalent. So I think the Saboteur could be nice, but it's a 1/3 for 1 cost. Like you can have fun and make a droid deck, I think. But other than that, I mean, it's a 1 cost. Nothing too crazy there.
Yeah, the Saboteur I think is a good call out. I always whenever I think of BD, I think of the stims. So I was hoping he would have like a restore ability or
Hmm.
someone because I feel like that's just what he's there for, to heal up. But maybe that's gonna be like an event like for Cal or something like
Yeah.
heal up or something. So yeah, I think this is cool. I wish it let you attack with the unit. When played, choose a friendly unit, attacks for 1/+1. gain Saboteur. I thought that would be pretty cool, but
Hmm.
not like not like mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, like if you played it like one of those three costs, like even if you're playing, yellow hero green and you threw Obi-Wan out there,
Yeah.
now he's a 4/5 with probably not Sentinel at the time, but plus gives him a +1, gives him Saboteur. It's just like thinking stuff like that, you can make those three costs just like a little bit more, menacing on the attack side of things. So yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we have Darth Revan's lightsabers, 2 cost, villainy, super sick art, the best lightsabers in the game.
Hmm.
Attached to a non-vehicle unit. If this unit is a Sith, it gains grit, +2/+2 upgrade. It's a rare. Yeah, just good.
Exactly. Literally is like you said, it's just good.
Like you put this on any Sith, most likely they have a lot of health, and now they have grit. So anything with grit that has a lot of health is dangerous, especially when you control when you're putting it when you're putting the grit on it. Like, Plo Koon obviously is conditional grit and slow,
Hmm.
but you could put this on a ready unit, and if they can't kill it right away and they have to soak damage into it, it's going to be hitting for a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, so super cool. Love the art. Good card.
Yeah, it's sick art.
Another amazing card. 5 cost villainy, Darth Malik. 4/7, Force and Sith, Overwhelm. When played, if you control a Sith leader unit, you may ready this unit. He is a legendary. Troy, does he live up to the legendary status?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. No, I like it. It's fun. It's, overwhelm with four is like okay,
Hmm.
but I mean you're planning it out where like you're gonna play him with probably Revan on the board.
Yeah.
Like you're probably playing him in Revan. You're probably gonna hope you have a Revan's lightsaber in your hand. Like you're gonna plan it out to where it's like, okay, we can make this happen here in the next couple turns. I like it. I think it definitely lives up to the legendary status. And again, just another one where the hyperspace is gonna be so sweet.
Oh yeah. Prestige, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that it has that stat line that's awesome for avoiding removal. So takedown doesn't kill this, Fell the Dragon
Hmm.
doesn't kill this.
Yep.
Vanquish would kill this, but again, they're using their whole turn on it. And if you're playing this with your leader, then they're using their whole turn to take out this, but then you still have your leader. Um, so I think, yeah, it's really flexible. The more Sith leaders we have, I'd have to go back to see how many of our leaders are Sith traded, but the more Sith leaders you have, the better this gets. Seeing a 4/7 is always scary. Already four
Yeah.
seven is even worse. So
Yeah, literally.
really cool card. Next up, we have the Forged Starfighter, 1 cost, villainy, 1/1 Sith vehicle fighter, hidden raid 1. Fine.
That's fun.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing is like, oh, I think and now there are 2 of them as non-vehicle, so that can't even work on this because it's Sith.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. This feels like, pre-release, you just stuff this in a deck to fill the 30 cards.
Literally, yeah, you just need a one cost, throw it out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe your raid one can kill something, but like, yeah,
Yeah. Not much else to say about this one.
no.
Next up, we have Liberated by Darkness. This is a force event, 5 cost, cunning villainy. Use the force. If you do, take control of a non-leader unit. At the start of the recruit phase, its owner takes control of it. So essentially oh
Was that
god,
change of heart?
change of heart. Exactly. Yeah. Essentially a change of heart for 5, but you're spending the force token. Again, I think they're looking at the force token as a one resource, essentially.
Hmm.
Um, I think, yeah, I mean, change of heart is really good in situations. It's not good all the time. You have to like take a ready unit or a sentinel that's crazy. Um, but again, it's very conditional.
Yeah. I don't have much on this honestly because I don't really play like change of heart. I didn't
Mm,
really play commandeer.
yeah, yeah.
All those cards I just don't really play them. So like you said, I think it's gonna be conditional.
Yeah, those cards and this card are like these are like a steal a win card. Like
Mhm.
you don't play them to advance your like turn because obviously you're not taking out their unit. It's going to go back to them. So if you aren't winning on that turn, you're using your whole turn just to steal a unit, and you're hoping that when you steal that unit, you could seal the game away. Whether it's like taking a sentinel to clear the way or taking a big unit that's ready and then attacking them with that. So yeah, I think it's very conditional, but
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, definitely. Cool art again. The art's been great for this set, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's the art's been so good. All right. Next one we have, this will probably be our last one.
Hmm.
4 cost, Death Field, aggression, villainy, force event. Deal 2 damage to each non-vehicle enemy unit. If you control a force unit, draw a card. It's a rare. I'm not too excited about pulling this as my
Yeah.
rare. Really cool art. Yeah,
I,
four
I,
four cost
it,
is just tough.
it is. I think I'd be excited if I pulled it as like my hyperspace
Mm.
of a pack because I think that would be like a cool collecting version of it. But yeah, cool art, like you said. It's nothing crazy unless like you really just needed to draw a card, but you're probably not going to put this in your deck anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you're hoping everything's kind of weak, so you hit this, and then you can get a buff from Revan's ability, which would be cool, and you're defeating things, but things have to already be kind of low, or you soften them up with this. But yeah, 4 costs just seems like a lot if they don't
Yeah,
have like a big board, you know.
absolutely. Yeah, agreed.
All right, well, I think we will call it there. We will be back with many more spoilers. We are still behind, so we're going to start grinding them out. We hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode of Star Wars Limited, I'm going to call it. Not Star Wars Unlimited, just Star Wars Limited for me and Troy. That's what we are. We're new, we're casual. Star Wars Limited is what I'm calling this series. Thank you, Troy, for joining. I'm very excited to continue this and continue expanding this. So, yeah, hope you had a fun time with this.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate the invite to help kind of host this portion with you. Very excited to keep talking about this and hopefully, we find an audience that, is not necessarily the hardcore side of things and they are just kind of trying to get into it as well and can appreciate the novice of it and if we bring, some people that maybe we know that are just interested in the game and want to play. I mean, I'm sure we both have plenty of bulk of cards that can help get people involved. So hopefully people are, you know, interested and willing to reach out. But yeah, hopefully we find a good audience for this. So I'm excited to continue this journey.
Amen to that. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, comment, like, let us know what cards you're super excited about with this set. And we will see you in the next spoiler video. Or if you're listening to any other of my episodes, that's great too. So thanks again for stopping by. See ya.